What's up, everybody? Damon here, and in today's gaming news, E3 will be missing the big three. 343 is reportedly in turmoil, and an Activision Blizzard exec is loving The Last of Us on HBO for reasons that might surprise you. This is your Daily Fix. E3's first physical event in 4 years was supposed to be a triumphant return for the trade show, an opportunity to recapture some of the excitement of past conventions, which historically have been major showcase events for the games industry. However, it appears that when E3 2023 hits the Los Angeles Convention Center in June, it will be without three of its most important draws. IGN has heard from multiple knowledgeable sources that Xbox, Sony, and Nintendo all won't be a part of E3 this year or have a presence on the show floor. This information comes on the heels of Xbox's announcement last week that it would be returning to Los Angeles for its annual summer showcase, while declining to confirm whether it would be part of E3 itself. Xbox's decision to not have a formal presence on E3's show floor comes as a surprise given its support for the event in the past. Out of the big three, it appeared the most likely to be at E3, not the least because it has several major releases to promote in 2023, including Starfield. Nintendo has also traditionally maintained a booth on E3's show floor, even after pioneering the direct presentation format. However, IGN has heard from sources around the industry that neither Nintendo nor Sony will be at the show. Ampere analyst Piers Harding-Rolls told IGN, "It's unfortunate that the physical event returns when Nintendo is at the tail end of the Switch lifecycle with no sign of a next-gen device this year. I'm not sure it will have many games to show this year, so it makes sense to skip." As someone who misses the excitement of the old E3, this is a bummer to hear. What is E3 even going to be this year? That will be a big question on all of our minds as June approaches. Moving on, while Microsoft has said 343 Industries will continue to make Halo games, despite recent rumors to the contrary, a new Bloomberg report states that the developer is basically being rebooted. The report states that 95 people were laid off from 343 this month, including top directors. One reason given for the recent turmoil is the switch from the studio's ancient game engine, Slipspace, based on old code from as far back as the 90s. It is supposedly the cause of Halo Infinite's many delays and the delays of new modes like Extraction and Assault. Late last year, the decision was apparently and finally made to switch Halo to the Unreal Engine. The report claims 343's first game to use Unreal will be a battle royale game codenamed Tatanka. Using Unreal could make the development of future Halo games go more smoothly, but there's also worry that switching engines will lose the classic Halo feel. As for the future of Halo Infinite, it doesn't sound like we should expect much more story content. The report claims 343 isn't working on any new story content for Infinite. Back in July of 2020, former Halo Infinite studio head Chris Lee told us, "Halo Infinite is the start of our platform for the future. We want Infinite to grow over time versus going to those number titles and having all that segmentation we had before. It's really about creating Halo Infinite as the start of the next 10 years for Halo, and then building that as we go with our fans and community." Yeah, how's that working out? And finally today, HBO's The Last of Us has been turning a lot of heads, but you may not have expected the hit video game adaptation to get dragged into the Microsoft and Activision Blizzard merger situation. On Twitter, Activision Blizzard CCO Lulu Cheng Meservey called attention to the show's success, writing specifically at the FTC, "It's a true blockbuster, watched by tens of millions. You may be particularly interested in the fact that The Last of Us is produced by Sony Pictures Television and PlayStation Productions." She went on to argue that The Last of Us' success and subsequent renewed interest in the video game means there is no cause for concern that Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard would suppress competition. She continued, "Sony has an unrivaled war chest of IP, not just in gaming but TV, movies, and music, which can be developed into games or can market existing games. It is no wonder they also continue to dominate as the market leader for consoles. In gaming, Sony is the first of us, and they will be just fine without the FTC's protection." This is another example of Microsoft and Activision Blizzard either tearing themselves down or boosting Sony up in an attempt to push the merger through. Microsoft has previously called PlayStation too big to fail, while saying Xbox has a number of significant disadvantages compared to its rival platforms. We've been talking about this acquisition for over a year now. Microsoft originally said it hopes to close the deal by June 2023. Oh, that's why Xbox can't go to E3. It just had other plans. Makes sense now. And that is your Daily Fix for Tuesday, January 31st. Who's ready for February? Now that you're caught up on the news, check out our video on 19 brilliant little details in Dead Space. I'm Damon Hatfield, and for all your gaming news, stay tuned to IGN.